Alright, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you tonight with a special fight preview, getting this one in just under the nose there. We're going to RIZIN 27 in Nagoya, Japan. We're going to the main event, super atomweight title fight. Defending champ Ayaka Hamasaki taking on the challenger Kanna Asakura. Now these two met once before, December 31st, 2018, with Hamasaki coming out ahead for the inaugural super atomweight championship via second round armbar. Within I think there was less than 30 seconds left in the round, she got that armbar. And that was for the inaugural title. Now, right now, the title is vacant. The previous champion, Seo Hee Ham, vacated it and is now going to one championship. So they're bringing in the former champ Hamasaki and challenger Kanna Asakura, who's realistically done enough to earn it. But the question is going to be, has she improved enough to have a real chance here? Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. So Hamasaki coming in 21-3, Asakura coming in 18-4. Hamasaki last coming off a win over Miyu Yamamoto via leg scissors choke submission back on New Year's Eve. Asakura also fighting on New Year's Eve, defeating Ai Shimizu via unanimous decision. Hamasaki's the elder fighter, 38-23. Asakura's taller by an inch, 5 feet 2 inches, 158 centimeters to Hamasaki's 5 feet 1 inch, 155 centimeters. So I watched their first fight, and then I watched a couple of their fights since then. And I'm going to make my pick early in this video. I'm going with Ayaka Hamasaki to beat Asakura again. And here's why. You look at that first fight, and she had a couple of very small, short moments, but Asakura was honestly not really in that fight. Aside from those few moments, it was all Ayaka Hamasaki. I mean, the vast majority of the fight was in the stand-up because Asakura was unable to get it to the ground, and she also was just having a hard time dealing with Hamasaki's stand-up. Both are primarily boxers. You don't see them throw too many kicks. Hamasaki did get off a high kick in that first fight. Hamasaki, she keeps her hands low, but her jab, she has one of the best jabs of any female fighters in MMA, because when she throws it, it has legit pop. I mean, she throws that jab and it hurts her opponents. I mean, it is stiff. I mean stiff. She hurts her opponents with her jab, that pops their heads back, stops their momentum. She throws that jab, their opponent is getting affected by it. And she doesn't even keep her jab, her guard up high either. It comes from fairly low for a jab. But it is just super effective, one of the best jabs in the women's divisions. And it really gave Asakura trouble. And now Asakura has worked on her striking. It has improved a lot. I saw, in her fight against Ai Shimizu, she used her striking and her boxing largely to, beat Ai. The ground was fairly, they neutralized each other as far as the wrestling goes, and it was up to Asakura's boxing to get her through that fight, and she just outstruck Shimizu very easily. But like I said, it all comes down to, has Asakura done enough or improved enough in the 2 years and change since they last fought? And I just don't see it. I mean, she's taken a loss since then, another loss. She came back, got a win against Tomo Maesawa, and Maesawa, she was undersized in that fight. Lost to Miyu Yamamoto, got completely out-wrestled. Had a very close fight with Alicia Zepatella. Then fought Jamie Hinshaw, who was, inexperienced and not, that was for the Bellator Japan card. And no offense to Hinshaw, she's not on that level yet. Then she beat Mizuki Furuse, who's, was just above a 500 record at the time. And then most recently beat Ai. Whereas you compare that to, who was Ayaka faced since then? beat Jinyu Fry, who was the Invicta champ at the time. Okay, Suinon Boonsorn, that was a bit of a gimme fight. Took the loss to Seo Hee Ham. Then came back, beat Tomo Maesawa. Again, Maesawa's a bit undersized, so not going to give too much credit. But whereas Asakura took Maesawa to decision, Hamasaki beat her early in the second round. And then Hamasaki faced Miyu Yamamoto, choked her out in less than 2 minutes. Whereas for Asakura, went to decision. Now granted, styles make fights, but the fact that they are facing the same opposition or similar, and how one handles the other, it is telling. It is telling. Yes, styles make fights, and these two have, different styles. Asakura is primarily a wrestler. Hamasaki is a judoka, but very proficient in the stand-up as well. So, you look at the similar or, shared competition, and Hamasaki's just blowing them away, whereas Asakura is coming up very close. Now, usually if there's a 15-year difference like this, 38 to 23, you tend to want to favor the younger fighter. But here's the thing, Hamasaki has not slowed down at 38 years old. I mean, she just has not slowed down, and she has continued to make improvements. There's a Japanese concept, I believe it's called Kaizen, where you make small, incremental improvements over time to make a better product. I mean, like, say they make a toy train, and then the toy train, they fix this on the next edition, and they come up with another edition where they fix this and make it that much better. Whereas like 2 or 3 years down the line, they have what is essentially the same model train as 3 years previously, but it is like that much better. It runs that much smoother. The track's better. The engine's better. They make all these little small improvements, and that's what Hamasaki has done as a fighter. You see videos of her training, and she's always working on something and working on improving something. Now, I have no doubt that Asakura is making improvements too, but Hamasaki has just got it down to like a science. Like that leg scissors choke. They showed her working on that in the RIZIN Confessions video leading up to that event, and then she ended up using it in the fight. So I think Asakura, she's definitely made improvements in her striking. I just don't think it's going to be so great that she'll have an answer for Hamasaki's jab. On the ground, I don't think Asakura is going to be able to get Hamasaki down the way she does a lot of her other opponents. I mean, and then in the first fight, it was Hamasaki that took Asakura down with an almost effortless trip. Like, Hamasaki was in the corner, and Asakura was on the outside, clinching with Hamasaki. Hamasaki basically just, pushed her away a little bit, put her leg behind Asakura's and tripped her down like it was nothing. Like, effortless takedowns. Whereas Asakura usually has to work a little bit harder for her takedowns because they're more like wrestling, double leg, single leg, like penetration-based takedowns. I just see Asakura having a very difficult time in this fight. So, like I said, my pick for this fight is going to be Ayaka Hamasaki to win again and basically reclaim the title that she lost on New Year's Eve. Just that now it's vacant. Last New Year's Eve, by the way. Okay, so those are my thoughts on this fight. Like I said, Ayaka Hamasaki to win. It should be fairly easy. One interesting thing I want to say, though, is that even though there's a 15-year age difference between these two fighters, there's only a 2-fight difference as far as experience goes. Asakura has gotten a lot of experience in a short amount of time. And it really shows because she has made a lot of improvements. I mean, she's only 20 years old, I think, or 21, and she's one of the top atomweights in the world. So just something I wanted to add on there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comments down below. Let me know your pick. And while you're at it, if you like the video, please like it and go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.